Hello everyone, it's Ruben here with my Stamina Dragonite PvE tank build. Yes, it has been quite a while since we have done PvE builds on this channel, but don't worry, many more are coming. I want to get a PvE build and PvP build up for every class on this channel and of course on the website. So this PvE build, very powerful of course for veteran dungeons, non-DLC and DLC dungeons. And it also works on trials, though on trials of course you should or can run different setups. Now with dungeons and trials like DLC dungeons and trials, one of the most important factors of course is always the rotations. Anyways, I really like this build as it is fun, it is tanky and it just works in PvE. It's very simple and straightforward. Some of these sets are craftable, so it's not too hard to get this build. And of course you can also use other optional sets until you get the monster sets. So this build, we currently have around 38k health. Overall, if you do non-DLC pledges, I would probably be more than comfortable enough with 30k to 35k health. And if you want to do like DLC dungeons or trials, I would probably aim around 35 to 40k health. But let's not go too much into that. If you want to see the written version, it is linked in the description and underneath the comments on learneso.net, and we also cover it right here, right now. So let's go over to the gear, skills, setups, etc. So let's go over the setup for anyone who is curious about it. Now, just a quick heads up, a couple of skills I have at the moment are set up and morphed to PvP, and some of the traits are PvP focused as well, / not optimized. If you want a written version, it's up on learneso.net. We'll link it in the description and the comments as well. There you can check it out. So like I said, the traits aren't optimized yet, but on the bigger pieces, so chest, helmet and legs, you want to go infused with tri-stat. And on the smaller pieces, I really would recommend to go sturdy and you can go max health. I currently have a multi-effect, but I personally would go, if you don't have a lot of funds, I would probably go with just max health on these pieces. Now the reason why my helmet and my shoulders are light and medium, normally you should go light and medium on the waist and hands for the best armor rating. However, Ebon doesn't come in light or medium armor, so I'm being forced to do that. A better way though of course would be to get Torque Spec, because that is craftable in light and medium, and then get this in heavy. But yeah, it is what it is. So infused on the bigger pieces with tri-stat and then sturdy on the smaller pieces. We have 1-time Magicka recovery and 2-time shield play enchantment. I am currently running infused, but I will probably change it to 3 times health. So for PvE content, I really would go for 3 times max health, especially if you want to do the harder content like trials or DLC dungeons. Now the weapon, Ice Devil Turok Spect, Crusher enchantment of course, debuff our enemy, infused, and then we have Sword of Torok Spect. At the moment I have shock damage with defending, but you can also go defending and crush enchantment. Shield, at the moment reinforced, should be sturdy as well with a tri-stat enchantment on that. Now regarding the Mundus, I really would recommend to go with the Atronic Mundus for extra Magicka recovery. The extra Magicka recovery will be very useful because many of your abilities are using Magicka. So definitely go for the Atronic Mundus for some increased Magicka recovery. Now regarding Vampirism or Werewolf, I cured my Vampirism on this character because I'm now going to do PvP with it. But for PvE, you really should go Vampirism, because Vampirism just has so much more benefits than negative side effects, especially for a tank. It just outweighs the negative with the positive. So definitely go Vampirism, stage 4 undead, very useful and really recommended. Regarding food, almost any tri-stat purple food would work. I myself am running Jugged Rabbit and Preserves, increased max health and max Magicka and max stamina for 2 hours. So that is very useful. Regarding the skills, of course, we first of all on our sword and board bar. Well, first of all we have Pierce Armor. This one can be found on the first ability from the one hand and shoot line. The second ability is Heroic Slash. That is also the second ability from one hand and shoot, which gives us one ultimate every 1.5 seconds for 9 seconds. Third ability is our Green Dragon Blood. Green Dragon Blood is a little bit of a self-heal in case your healer is sleeping, but it also gives us major fortitude, major endurance and minor vitality, increasing health recovery and stamina recovery by 20% and healing receipt by 8% for 23 seconds. Now number 4, we have Engulfing Flames. Engulfing Flames is very nice because, well, first of all you have a bit of an AoE attack, so it's easier for you to aggro NPCs, but secondly, affected enemies take 7% more damage from all fire damage attacks. Then number 5, it says Fragmented Shoot, but for PvE you should go Ignis Shoot. So Ignis Shoot, which is the third ability from the Earthen Heart, it will also give you a little bit of a damage shield, and it also increase the healing done. Ultimate, we have Magma Shell. When activated, nearby allies gain a damage shield for 140% of the max health for 9 seconds. Ignite the molten lava in your finds, limiting incoming damage to 3% of your max health and dealing 612 flame damage to nearby enemies each second for 10.8 seconds. Now, the second weapon we have is an Ice Staff, and with the Ice Staff it is extremely important if you unlock the passives, do not unlock the Tri-Focus passive, because while a Frost Staff is equipped, blocking costs Magicka instead of stamina. So don't unlock the Tri-Focus because we still want to block with stamina and we don't want to block with Magicka. So first ability is Choking Talons. Now Choking Talons can be found as the second ability from the Draconic Power. Choking Talons is very nice because enemy hits are afflicted with minor maim, reducing the damage done by 50% for 7 seconds. So you reduce the enemy's damage done. The second ability is Unrelenting Grip. Now Unrelenting Grip is really nice to get NPCs to watch you, so you can pull them in, and that way your allies can easily nuke them down. Third ability is Inner Fire. Now this is the unmoored version. Inner Fire can be found in the Undaunted skill line as the third ability, and once you can morph it, you should morph it into Inner Rage. Fourth ability, it says Volatile Armor, but you should go with the other morph, not with Volatile Armor, but with Hardened Armor, which is the first ability from the Draconic Power line. And then last but not least, we currently have Wall of Frost. Wall of Frost can be found as the second ability from the Destruction Staff. Once you can morph it into Elemental Blockade. Warhorn is our ultimate, very nice. Summon the Warhorn to rally your force, increasing your and your allies' max Magicka and max stamina by 10% for 28 seconds. Now you want to morph Warhorn into Aggressive Horn, and Warhorn can be unlocked from the Alliance Ward line. It's the ultimate ability. Now, if you don't have Warhorn unlocked yet, you can choose to run something like Standard of Might even, or you can even use the other morph of Take Flight, which is Ferocious Leap, for a little bit of a damage shield. It's also a lot of fun to run Ferocious Leap or Take Flight, especially when you are doing the not so serious dungeons, like non-DLCs dungeons, and you know how it goes, just to have a little bit of variety and a little bit of fun. Now regarding Inner Rage, if you don't have it unlocked, you can go with Reflective Plate or anything like that as well on that bar until you unlock those abilities. Regarding attribute points, I personally have everything into health, but that is also without healthy on my rings. If I have healthy on my rings, I would be hitting over 40k health, which is not necessarily. Of course, it depends on your race, what race you are running, but overall, if you're going to do non-DLC dungeons, like pledges just for the Undaunted keys and the Undaunted experience itself, 30 to 35k is more than enough. If you really want to do DLC dungeons, trials, stuff like that, I would aim at 35 to 40k. Anywhere between those two lines is more than enough. Regarding races, there are many races that you could play. Imperial, Argonian, Dark Elf, those are definitely some of my top races. But the Nord, Khajiit, Orc, or Redguard, like those will all work as well. So champion points, here I was playing around a little bit. So we got 44 in Warlord, reduce the cost of break free, bashing focus, 16, 6 in Sprinter, 49 Mooncal, 43 Arcanist, 27 Tenacity, 18 in Tumbling, 66 in Shadow Watch, reduce the cost of block of course, 100 in Blast, increase your healing done, 20 Shattering Blows. The main reason, even though we don't have a lot by the way regarding self healing, is that the rest of these CPs are a lot damage focused and we are a tank, so it doesn't really matter if we go from 1k and get a 10% increasement to like 1.1k DPS, you know what I mean? So Bless is just much more useful even though we barely heal ourselves with green Dragon Bloods. 29 Physical Weapon Expert, Master at Arms 23, 20 Shattering Blows, 23 Piercing and 75 Mighty, 40 in Ironclad, 44 in Spell Shields, 23 in Thick Skinned, 43 in Hardy, and 43 in Elemental Defender, 43 in Heavy Armor Focus, and 44 in Bastion. Now of course Heavy Armor Focus also depends a little bit like what race you are. If you are like a Nord, you already have quite a lot of resistance, and if you're not a Nord, well, maybe a Breton or something. So it really depends on the race you are playing as well. Now the overall rotation, it is quite simple to be a tank. Like, it really depends of course what kind of content you're doing. If you're doing like the new DLC dungeons, I would recommend to look up one of those guides like how the rotation works, as that can be quite hard. But apart from that, you want to keep some of your buffs up all the time, like Green Dragon Blood, you want to keep it up at all times. And the other abilities such as Hardened Armor, you want to keep it up as well. Now, to trigger enemies, or well, pull them towards you, taunt them, you can either use Inner Fire, or if you are a little bit closer to him, you can use Pierce Armor. Pierce Armor also debuffs them, and Heroic Slash to gain your ultimate up. You can also further debuff your enemies by using Engulfing Flames. If you get really low on health, you can use your Fragmented Shield, and then your Green Dragon Blood to heal for yourself a little bit. And you can use a light attack from your Ice Step to debuff your enemies further with the Crusher enchantment. Now Choking Talons is also useful because you apply minor aim to the enemies, reducing their damage done. So all these things really help out, using minor aim, keeping your buffs up, and of course apart from that, make sure you keep the enemies taunted on you and apply a debuff if needed. And that is pretty much it. Use Warren Horn if you want to increase your allies, their strength. You are really there to like debuff the enemies, keep them on you, and also buff your allies. That is your role. You are not there really to deal DPS or any sort of that kind. You are there to debuff, taunt, and buff. That is your role as a tank, and that's what you should focus on. And of course, don't die. But that's pretty obvious. Well, that's pretty much it. Regarding the passives, get all the passives from the Art of Flame, Dragonoid Power, Earth and Heart, One-Handed Shield, and Destruction Staff, except for Trifocus. Get all the Heavy Armor passives. Medium Armor, you only want all the passives except for Agility. And Light Armor, you want all the passives except for Prodigy and Concentration. Undaunted, you want all the passives, and of course you want all the racial passives. Optional passives as always are like Provisioning, like you can get the Gourmand passive if you want, and the Alchemy passive, Medicinal Use, but that's really up to you. And that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Much more PvE tank builds, DPS builds, and healing builds will be coming to the site soon. I've been doing PvP for a long time, but I never really been into like getting too much in the builds. But now we really are going to change that, and we'll be adding all these builds to the site as well. I wish you guys a great day. Bye bye. See you in Tamriel. I'm out.